And how are we doing for time? I think we do have time to do at least the start of another run here. So what do we want to do? I'm tempted to go Formicid again, but I just love Formicid Rangers so much. Ranged characters on Formicid, super fun. Don't have to sacrifice the shield for the firepower, so it works out pretty nicely in the long run. Is there anything else that we'd kind of want to see here? Baraki was the first introduction on my end to the new range changes, and I did really enjoy them, but I'm a bit concerned about the slow movement speed in a full extended game. I'm not sure if that's very sustainable, unfortunately. Null is something I was looking at that was interesting to me, but unfortunately, they will take a while to get rolling, and they work best as a hybrid, so I don't feel like they quite hit the mark for this run in particular, where, again, I'm trying to very much focus down just tunnel vision on ranged combat and make it work one way or another. Gargoyle Hunter, get those nice early resistances, good defenses, just have to worry about our overall health. I mean, gargoyles are decent for extended because they have innate torment resistance. The one downside is damnation. Damnation hits like a mother trucker on a gargoyle character just because of your lack of health. But sure, we could try it out. Let's switch it up here a little bit, and we'll go with the Gargoyle Hunter and try it out. See how it goes, at least at the end of our evening here today. And what do we wish to do for name? Not super creative. Let's go with Grunter. Give it a good old shot here, shall we? Ranged weapons at least at a nice neutral 0, so not too much to ask for whatsoever there. And we'll go through all of the usual start of the run routines here and get our buddies sorted. Last but not least, drop in the morgue file here. And let's see if it opens on the side or nope, just blinds me with a full screen of white. Fantastic. Just what I asked for. But perfect. We can plop that seed in here just in case anyone wants to play along at home. Give it a good old college trial on your side of things. They get flight later, allowing for kiting opportunities with strategic use of environment. Very true. But okie dokie, folks, let's see how it goes. Again, starting out at 5 AC is always wonderful. The lack of health means the main concern we have in the early game here is Orc Priests. We pretty much want to sprint in the opposite direction the second we come across one of those sons of guns. But we will see what the dungeon has in store for us as we continue forward here today with the third run of the evening. Give it a good old shot, shall we? Faded Altar, no thank you. Not for a 15 rune run. For 3, can often get the job done, but we probably need someone a bit more consistent as a deity here. And that is floor 1 pretty much dusted here. Do the final little bit. Gargoyles definitely don't have the best starting dexterity, so we're going to be fighting an uphill battle there, but fairly decent strength means that we should be able to wear half decent armor as we continue forward here. We did pick up that +3 ring mail, and it's tempting to wear it, but I think it will slow down our attack. Not by a lot, though. It does bring us up to 11 AC. So maybe we'll make that work, shall we? I guess what's the encumbrance rating on this son of a gun? It is 7. Okay. So just a bit of armor training should get around all the issues there. Just have to survive long enough to see it all work out. There's a shield that we'll probably never get to explore. The exception to that is if we find a really good hand crossbow or a really good like artifact sling, then maybe we can end up using a shield while still adhering to our pure range strategies. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Yeah, unfortunately, a +0 sling just not quite gonna cut it. I'm pretty happy to stick with our bow for the time being here and just slowly but surely, and I guess more accurately, relatively quickly, blitz our way through the first few floors of the dungeon here without too much of a concern about anything. And we can hopefully get the ball rolling just enough to get ourselves carried in. Oh, double Orc Priest. Gosh, darn it. I was like, I can face off against one Orc Priest. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Unfortunately, 2 is untenable, and even 1 might be bit too much to handle. Turns out maybe I should have just gone down that earlier stairwell. Yep. Well, that's a quick end to Grunter here, but we're just gonna tab in for a very quick reset. Oh, geez Louise. Hopefully we're not entering a bit of a downward spiral now that we've had the unfortunate incident with Fohu. But we'll see how it goes here. And at the end of the day, I don't mind. When you die early on in a run, it's generally not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. Let's go Grunter number 2. Grunter numero dos. Once again, replacing that seed for anyone playing along. And let's do it, shall we? Fantastic. Immediately get the Conjuration spellbook, so if I was playing anything other than a explicit non-caster, that would have been a lovely find. I guess, barring the fact that a lot of the times I start my casters as Conjuration wizards. Conjurers, I guess, is the right way to say that. But still, very interesting find early on here. And we'll once again hopefully be able to just blitz our way through. Ooh, fancy helmet for when we can afford it. Runed buckler, I guess we won't mark because there's not that much chance that we'll be able to use it, unfortunately, as kind of mentioned in the previous start to the run. But that is another big advantage of going with Gargoyle over Formicid. We have all of our weapon slots available, so we don't need to worry about sacrificing anything for the extended. We should be able to get a nice selection of resistances across the board by the time we get to the extended late game. So that could be very nice. We'll have to see how it all goes down and how we are feeling. Another immolation. How about that? And Amulet of Regen. Definitely throw that bad boy on as soon as possible here. Fortunately, not getting any... Was that D2 or D3 that we were on? Was that 2 Orc Priests on D2? I guess even D3 is kind of unlucky to get 2 Orc Priests in the pack, so don't feel too terrible about that first death for Grunter the original. Maybe I should have named you Grunter the second, at least so I had some kind of legitimate explicit distinction between the two, but that's fine. Not going to worry too much about it at the end of the day here. And let's see what the dungeon has in store in the first few floors before we wrap up for the evening. Why, hello, Sigmund. You do have confusion, which sucks. 53%, 27 health, damage rating of 11. I'll probably say nay for now, and let's just head off another direction here instead. Little bit risky, even just against an early null pack, but not the end of the run for us here, and we'll just continue our way, keep on keeping on, and hopefully get a little bit more progress than our first attempt here. Cheap artifacts really tempt to go against folk wisdom of not buying pig and poke. Maybe. And oof. Faith Amulet. Our poison is useless. Our corrosion is okay. Probably won't end up using that. I got excited because I just saw artifact. Oh my gosh. It has to be good, right? It's shiny and special. But unfortunately not quite. We do almost have enough gold to pick up the helmet here, so that's very nice. What DD am I partial to on this run? That's a great question. I'm tempted to go TSO again, even though the the great shining digit in the sky did kind of bone me. Right? I don't have to take responsibility for my own actions. I can just blame it on the great big shining number 1 in the sky. But Shining One is one of my go-tos for all the kind of melee-based 15 rune runs I've done in the past, so I'm tempted to continue that strategy moving forward. In terms of extended in general, I'm definitely partial to the Shining One and Gozag as kind of my go-tos. But we'll have to see what comes up, and if I suddenly take a swerve, or if I do go for the kind of natural progression here. Helmet of Fun and Games, RN, Willpower, and Regen. That's an incredible helmet. +2 enchantment on it as well. Holy moly, folks. Maybe Zin is easier to build piety for. Keeps half piety when converted between good gods. Right? It's definitely not not a bad idea, and in fact could be quite nice. Generally, I find that there's at least enough TSO piety, but that by the time I need access to Cleansing Flame or Summon Divine Helmet, I am in a good place. See the helmet again real quick? For sure. So yeah, +2 enchantment, positive energy, or resistance to negative, willpower plus, regen plus. Incredible stuff. That's definitely an extended late game worthy helmet if I don't die to these Orc Priests. Bonk. Oh. Well, I said it out loud, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Oh, that's terrible. Do as I say, folks, not as I do. I don't know why I decided, let's just try to kill our way through. At the very least, I could have paralyzed one. Oh, it's the curse of the good gear at it again. Oh me, oh my. Oh, and I guess we'll never know what the regen was at with it. It probably was around, like, just below 2 per turn. I think usually 2 regen things gets you up to 1.6. Oh, that's rough. Taking on 2 Orc Priests that early with low HP species is brave. Well, right, I think I lulled myself into a false sense of security because we actually had already taken on an Orc pack with 2 Priests, and it kind of went perfectly fine. And not a care in the world, we just murdered our way through them, no problem. So my dumb brain was like, it happened literally just one time. That means it's 100% certain that we get through this in one piece. If HP regen is 0.8, perfect, yeah, so about what I was expecting, so 1.6 with the 2 of them, plus your natural regen, so probably 1.8-ish. Somewhere around there, I believe, is where it sits. Okay, one more Gargoyle start to finish off our day here. Maybe it's just because I haven't played Gargoyles in so long. They used to be one of my top species. When I was first starting the game, I found them to be my most consistent progress into the mid-game. Just having infinite poison resistance and a little bit of extra AC goes a long way when you're first learning, or at least it did for me. But hey, we'll get our feet under us yet. If this doesn't work out, maybe I'll switch back to Formset Hunter, but I don't know why I even propose such a thing, seeing as how we're definitely going to just make our way into the full 15 rune run. This is the one after all. Can't see us possibly, or I can't see it possibly going any differently, of course. Full confidence strats. Let's do it. Never did not have it. Used to be 1 but got nerfed a while back. 0.28, you think? Oh, really? That recently? Yeah, for whatever reason, I thought it was that lower score for a long time. But I don't pay huge attention to patch notes. I mainly just hit run and have a good time. That's the extent of my gameplay loop for the most part. But very interesting. There we go. Another early shot for us here. No artifact helmet in this one, unfortunately. I will buy the very cheap Degeneration, though. That's just a free ID, basically. And mutation potions definitely could be useful in the future, so we'll mark those bad boys for just such an occasion. and just get right back to it. Again, I feel like ranged characters are my most likely to immediately die to hubris. Usually, especially on spellcasters, it takes me, you know, a while to get comfortable enough to have hubris be a factor. Rangers, pretty much immediately. Hunter start ever since the ranged changes of, like, was that 0.29 or was that 0.28? I think 9. Oh hey, regeneration amulet again. That's lovely, thank you. But definitely I get way too carried away with just going absolutely ham on firing off the starting bow. Good and bad all wrapped up into one Niche Knight bundle. Centaur race change in 0.3 is kind of cool. You're down with wonky aardvark tongues as a game mechanic. Yeah, I'm excited to take a look into them as well. What are they? Because it's no longer even Palantongas. What are they called again? Is it something to do with armadillos? Arma something? It was the same patch. They moved MP regen from 0.25 to 0.4. Yeah, again, no idea on my end, but cool. Very cool. Armator, that's it. Thank you. It was something to do with Arma, and we're not talking about a milsim shooter. No, definitely looking forward to getting to try them out a bit. I didn't play too much of Palantonga besides the Great Player series, the few runs that we did for that. But I find them decently fun, specifically if you got a solid run where you were just able to pinball back and forth between enemies infinitely. It could get a bit wacky, to say the least. But yeah, I'm excited to try out some of the changes down the road here. I also really like the change to Faded Altars. Every time I see a Faded Altar, I get a bit excited thinking of the way that they work. At least the way they did work in a version of Trunk. I don't know, is that still around? But for anyone who hasn't seen it, just the way it works is that it now gives you a selection of gods to choose from, so it's slightly less RNG. We'll still gain to roll the dice in order to get that very early divine assistance. That's lovely. Having 2 times the health pots is pretty sweet, right? And that's right up the alley of being, yeah, different at the very least from other species, which is something I always put a lot of stock into whenever trying out new species added to the game. Because as mentioned very early in this evening's stream, one of usually my favorite species are ones that have some kind of special to them unique mechanic. Stop that. Stop that Curari Dart nonsense, you monster. How much damage do you do? 12? Have 8 AC? Only 55% chance to hit you? I'll probably leave you alone for now. Though it's not the worst encounter we can come across. Anyone want to get hammered over here? Hey, UF, sorry for waking you. Is that an artifact? Sorry, bud, can't do it. Goes against my my principles to kill you. Holy moly, okay. Bear is also not good. 3rd time's a charm here. 3rd stair, let's do it. Absolutely, there's a lot to work with in this game race-wise. They should take advantage of that for sure. It is still random. It just tells you the 3 god set that it belongs to. Can you not choose between the 3 though? That's how I assumed it worked based on the way it looked, but I definitely could be misguided in that regard. Okay, so not that stairwell, but this stairwell. Now the kobold has gone off for a bit of an adventure, it seems. Should be able to face you since we don't have to worry about poison. That's fantastic. You can't choose. Oh, I'm so confused. Why does it? Oh, it tells you before you worship. That's it, right? Then you can't choose between the 3, but it is one of the 3. So I just, yeah, I did it backwards on where the options came in. Is that correct? So it tells you what 3 it is, and then you yay or nay it? And then it's a random choice between those 3. Is that more accurate? Or am I still just wildly off base? Yes? Okay, very cool. And, okay, apparently my brain decided, you know what, now I feel more confident. I mean, it works out. Oh gosh, except immediately run into even more friends coming from the other direction. Stop that. Bit of confusion. Oh, haste. How about that? Oh. I drank a mutation potion. I got regen, see invisible, and dex. I'm gonna die to this orc mage, aren't I? You son of a gun, DCSS. Oh, I am invisible. That's promising. Come on, you can't hit what you can't see. Get wrecked. Okay. But now I need to survive, folks. I got lucky again. So now we're sitting at 1.73 regen per turn. I'm still invisible and fast, so that's why I'm risking fighting the bear here. Let's take advantage of our bonuses. Fantastic. Oh boy. Oh, another one. And this time I'm not fast or invisible, but apparently fingers think I can take it. Just gonna go nuts. Can tell I'm feeling a little fast and loose with the game here at the end of the evening. Just blasting our way through even faster than normal. Nothing matters, that's the spirit. I'm sure we'll see good results here. And that's the thing, mutations, it's sweet for the kind of early to late mid, potentially even early late game. It's gonna be good all that time. And then once I start getting mutated up the wazoo, no longer gonna be quite as useful. Okay, let's drink haste. Whoopsie daisies. Let's bring our bullfrog friend upstairs. Let's not stand in front of an ogre unnecessarily. My bad. 56% chance to hit you with Curari, and we do mulch the bolt. That's unfortunate. Oh geez, again, just flying by the seat of our pants here. Probably could chill out just a smidge, just to make sure that we don't do anything too silly in our haste here. Iguana. Oh, definitely pick up the gloves. Every point of AC is going to make a pretty big difference early on for us here. And let's see what kind of scenario we come across our ogre friend in. Speak of the devil, there you are, sir. Not deal nearly enough damage in the initial foray there, so what I'm going to do is just swap right back and keep doing this poke and play strategy just to try to ensure success as much as I'm able to. Ooh, half dead, hey? Fortunately, 9 AC, well, incredible for this stage in the game, for this style of character. Not quite gonna make the cut against potential damage of 40, so we're gonna have to just potentially actually just leave that ogre alone for the time being, and let's continue moving forward as is. Fortunately, we did manage to explore pretty much that entire floor, so I'm not too worried about it. Did not find the economical temple, so we're hoping that that shows up here. Let's see, I have no curing. Again, let's just play this one slightly cautious, shall we? Play it safe. Try to survive to live another day here. To fight another day at the very least. And okie dokie. Besides some early hiccups for ourselves here, not too shabby whatsoever. You're getting a nice pair of kicks to show off in the dungeon. Gotta look good as you make your way through. Vampiric Spear is kind of interesting. We could, if we wanted, use that temporarily. If I do worship the Shining One, of course, it will not be an option. Ooh. There she is. Beautiful. I do see the Shining One available. Zin is here as well. There's some talk last week of Che being fun for 15 rune. Do I switch it up? I feel like at least one of my runs needs to be a Shining One. Specifically, I just want to show off the Shining One for 15 rune, because in general, Besides the pennant shenanigans that we experienced on GrHu, Shining One is just incredible for extended. So, you know what? I think I will do so. We'll give it another go here. Have some more hope in the Great Shining One. And we'll continue on and see how much further we get this evening in today's stream. Ooh. Double pips of willpower on that armor, +2 leather armor with 2 pips of willpower. Don't mind if I do, thank you kindly. Okay, I'm scrutinizing Orc Priests now. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on, let's say you again so I don't feel embarrassed. Fool me 3 times though, that's where we start to take issue with it. So let's not die to the double Orc Priest strategy once again here, shall we? Perfect. But I can quickly build up piety and crypt later, could pick stronger early mid-god before that and swap to one later. Very true. I'm just a sucker for dancing with the one that brought you, you know? Is it sensical? Not really. And yet, here we are once again. It's one of those things that my stupid brain just gets caught up on for whatever reason. It's not quite as bad with the good gods because you have that free ability to swap. Definitely don't, I'm not one for excommunication. Okay, let's take you upstairs away from the Orc Priest. Should be able to kill you still regardless. Fantastic.